Okay, so we're gonna start to playing the main intro, the first part of the song. We're gonna do the following. We're gonna start doing that. So we're gonna go to the D string and we're gonna do 7, 9, 10. Then we're gonna go to 7 of the G string, and then 8 of the G string. We're gonna strike, hammer on to 9, and 8 on the B string. Then we're gonna go to the G string again. We're gonna strike 5 and do a hammer on to the 7, and then 5 of the D string, 4 of the G string, and hammer on to 7. And then to finish, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to 6 of the B string and then slide to the 7 position. And to finish, and on the original song, it's just muted. That part is kind of muted. We're gonna do that. 7 of the B string, hammer on to the 8, pull off back to 7, and then 9 on the D string. We're gonna repeat the same movement twice. And next we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to 5 of the E string, strike 5, hammer on to 7, and then 5 again, hammer on to 7, and pull off to 5. 8 of the B string, and now when you strike 8, you're gonna need to wait, or you can strike again, and we need to do a pull off to the 5th position of the B string. Next movement, it's a unison bend. We need to go to 8 of the B string and 5 of the E string, both at the same time, but we're only going to do a bend on the B string on the 8th position. Okay? The 5th stay on the same position, stay still. Then we do a unison bend on the 10 of the B string and 7 of the E string. Let's go again. We kind of repeat the same movement. Okay, hammer on, then 5, hammer on and pull off to 5, 5, and then pull off to 5th. On the B string is the same movement. And then, now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can strike 8 and do a slide to the 10 position, and then go back to 5. Strike once, and then again strike one more time on the 5th, hammer on to 7, pull off back to 5, and then 7, you can do that. Or you can do that. You can go to 8, do a bend, and when you do the release, you can do a pull off to the 5th. You can do that, and then strike 5, hammer on to 7, pull off back to 5, and then 7 on the G string. Next movement, we're gonna do 5 of the B string, then 7 of the G string, and then we're gonna go to 5 of the G string, slide to 4, and then slide back to 5. I'm sorry. After you slide from 4 to 5, you're gonna do a hammer on to the 7, 5 of the B string, and we're gonna finish on the 7 of the D string. One more time. Next movement. We're gonna go 4 of the G string, 7 of the G string, and then we're gonna go to the B, and then 4, slide to 5, and hammer on to 7. And we're gonna finish on the 7 of the G string. Next movement. We're gonna do that. So it's 5 on the E string, okay? 5, hammer on to 7. Then again, 5, hammer on to 7, pull off back to 5, and then we strike 5 again. That's the movement. And then 8 of the B string, strike 8 again on the B string, pull off to 5. Then 8 again on the B string, and then we're going to do a unison bend on the 8th and the 5th. We already did this. Let's go one more time. I'm sorry. Okay, so the second round of the same thing, because we're gonna pretty much play the same tune. We're gonna do the following on the first one. That one is the same. So far we are doing the same thing we did before. Now the next movement, we're gonna do that. It's 7 on the B string, hammer onto 8, pull off back to 7. Then 7 on the G string, 9 on the D, and 9 on the G string. We're gonna repeat the same movement. Same thing. Oh, sorry. And now we'll repeat the same thing we did before. Okay, so far same thing. Now right here there is an arrangement from there's a second guitar doing something different, and that guitar we're gonna do that. So we're gonna go to 12 of the third, second, and first the first string, and we're gonna do a sweep from the third, from the G down. Okay, and then we're gonna go to 15 of the B string, and we're gonna do a bend like going to 17. Then go 12 on the E string. We're gonna go 14, we can strike once, and then we're gonna go 14 again, strike, do a bend, a release, a pull off to the 12, and 14 of the D string. And we're gonna do a lot of these, the 14, bend, release, and pull off, okay? That's the movement. And then we go back to the same thing we did before. Same thing, okay, I'm not gonna teach it twice. Then again, same position. And right now there is a change. We're gonna do something like that. After we end on the 7 of the D string, we're gonna do that. So again 7, then hammer on to 8, 7, hammer on to 8, hammer on to 9. Then 7 on the G string, back to 9 on the D string, and then 8 on the G string, we're going to do a slide to the 9, and then 7 on the G, 9 on the D, and 7 on the G. And the next movement is the same we did before. Alright, so the next section. We're gonna do that, so we're gonna go to 8 of the B string, we strike 3 times, then 10 of the B string, 7 of the E string, and we're gonna do a unison bend on the 10 of the B string and 7 of the E string. Then same unison bend, but on the 9 of the G string and 7 of the B string. One more time. Next movement, we're gonna go from the we're gonna go to the E string, to the lower E string, higher E string, then 5 on the E, hammer on to 7, and then 5 again, hammer on to 7, and pull off back to 5. Then 8 on the B string, 7, 7 again, 8, and 5 of the E string. We repeat the same movement. And now the second time we do it, we do the unison bend. We're gonna do a bend, and we're gonna release. Okay? and we go back to the same thing we did before. Same section. And then the next section comes in. Okay, so the next section. We're going to do that. So again, we're going to go to the B string, and we're going to strike on the 3rd position 3 times. And the 3rd, we're going to do a hammer on to the 5th position of the B string. Then 3 of the E string, 5, and we're going to strike 5 again on the E string, and we're going to slide to the 7. Now we're going to do the same thing, 3 of the B string, strike 3 times, and on the 3rd one you do a hammer on. Then 3 of the E string, 5 of the E string, and we're going to do that, or you can do a hammer on and pull off. We're going to go again to 3 of the B string, hammer on to the 5th, pull off to the 3 to the 3rd position. Okay, 3 to 5, 5 to 3, and then we're going to do a slide to the 5th position and back to 3. That's the movement. Then we repeat the same thing we did before. And now, okay, it's the same section. Okay, 3 times, hammer on, 3, 5 on the E, and then 3 on the B string, hammer on to 5, and pull off to 3. The same thing we did before on the first run. Now, this one, which is the second, we're gonna go to a different section. So we're gonna strike the 3rd position of the B string just once, and then we're gonna do that. So we're gonna go to 8 of the E string. We're going to slide to the 10, or you can do a hammer on, there's no problem. You can do that to the 10th of the E string, and we're going to strike 10 several times. And the next movement, we do that. So it's 8 of the E string, 7 of the E string, and then we're going to go to 5. We're going to hammer on to 7 and pull off back to 5. Then 8 of the B string, 7 of the B string, then go back to 8, and we're going to go to 5 of the E string and 7 of the E string. Next movement. We're going to do that. So after we end with the 7 of the B string, of the E string, then we're going to go to E. Okay, 3rd fret of the E, and then we're going to do that. 3 of the B string, slide to 5, and slide back to the 3rd position. Now the next lick, we're going to strike 5 of the B string, and after we do that, we're going to do the following. We're going to go to 3 of the B string to the 3rd position. We're going to strike it. We're going to do a bend, a release, and then a pull off to the open string. Okay, 3, bend, release, open string, and then we're gonna go to 2nd fret of the G string. We're gonna do a bend, and we're gonna strike open B string and open E string. Okay. After we do that, we're gonna go to 3 of the B string. We're gonna strike it and do a pull off to the open string. Or you can do, maybe you can do a, I think it's better that way. Bend, open, open, 3, bend, and open string. Same thing we did right here when we started the lick. And then 2nd fret of the G string, we're gonna do a bend, a release, and a pull off to the open string. And we're going to end on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, of the D string. And after we do that, we quickly go to the 7th position of the E string and do a slide from 7 to 10, and you strike twice. Slide, strike 10 again, and the next movement is going to be, we're going to do that. We're going to strike 10, we're gonna do a pull off to 7. Everything is on the E string. Then 10 again, pull off to 7, and then strike 10 twice. Let me show you. And we repeat the same lick. Same thing, okay? Same lick we did before. And then the next section comes in. All right, so the next section after what we did before, we're gonna do the following. We're gonna do something like that. We're gonna go to 12 of the E string, and we're gonna go to 15 of the B string. We're gonna strike, do a bend, a release, and then we're gonna stay on the 15, and we're gonna strike several times. And after we strike several times, we're gonna go to 14 of the G string and we do that. So we go 14, we do a bend like going to 16, we do the release, and I pull off to the 12. I told you that we're gonna do this many times. Then 14 of the D string, 12 of the G string, and we're gonna go back to 14 of the G string, and we're gonna do a bend, okay? And when we are doing the bend, we do a vibrato. Let's go one more time. After that, we do that. So when we end with the 14 and the bend, we strike 15 and then quickly go to 12, 15, okay? Everything is on the B string, 15 of the B string, then 12, 15, and we're gonna do a pre-bend on the 15 of the B string, okay? We do a bend without hearing the bend, and then we strike and we do the release and pull off to the 12th position. Let's go one more time. That's right. And then, well, pull off to 12. Then 15 on the B string, 12 on the E string, and then we're gonna go back to 15 of the B string. We do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 12. And then we go back to 15 on the B string, and we're gonna strike 3 times. Let's go one more time in a slow tempo, and then we're gonna real tempo because it's kind of confusing. Let's go one more time. One more time. After we strike the 15 3 times, we do that. We're gonna go to 14 of the G string. We're gonna do a bend, and we're gonna kill the note. There's no release. Bend, kill the note, and then again we do a 14 again, bend, release, and a pull off to 12. Then 14 of the D string, 12 of the G string, and we're gonna go 14 again on the G string, and we do a bend. Now the next movement. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna go again 14 of the G string. We're gonna do a bend. And when we are on the higher part on the highest part of the bend, we're gonna strike again, and we're gonna do a release back to the 14. Then 14 again on the G string, we do a pull off to 12, and then 14 bend, and we do a bar on the 12th position of the B string and the E string, and we strike 12 of the B, 12 of the E, then 15 of the B string, and we do a pull off to 12. Let me go again. That's the movement. One more time. After we do that, we go 14 again on the G string, we do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 12. Next movement, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go 15 of the E string, we're gonna strike, we do a bend like going to 17, we do the release and the pull off to 12, then we do the same movement on the B string, 15, bend, release, pull off to 12, then 14, bend, release, pull off to 12, and then we end on the 14 of the D string. And then the next section comes in. Okay, so the next section. We do that. So it's 12 on the, everything right now it's on the E string. We're gonna go 12 on the E string, and then we're gonna strike twice for each. Then twice on the 14, twice on the 15, twice on 17, back to twice on the 15, then twice on the 14, and then we're gonna strike 12 one time, and the second time we strike it to a pull off to 10, and then a hammer on to back to 12. Next movement, we do that. We're gonna go to 12 on the B string, and then we're gonna go to 13 on the B string, strike 13, pull off to 12, and then 12, pull off to 10. Then 12, pull off to 10, and then from 10 we slide to 8. And then we do that. Then 10, we're gonna strike 10, then pull off to 8, and 8, slide to 7. Then 5 on the B string. Okay, so strike 5 on the B string, and then we're gonna go 7 on the G string. And when you strike 7, you do a bend and you add a vibrato on it. Okay, then 5, it's 5, 7, the bend. Then 5 again on the B string, 7, bend again, and then we're gonna go to 5 on the B string, and we're gonna do a 7, bend, release, and a pull off to 5. Let me show you again. One more time. Next movement. We do that, so we're gonna go to 15 on the B string, strike 15, we do a bend, and then strike 12 on the E string. Then we do that. That's pretty easy. After that, there is a silence, and then we're gonna go to 14 on the G string, strike, do a bend, 12 on the B string, and then back to 15 on the B string, strike, bend, and 12 on the E string. Let me show you. That's a movement. On the first bend, if you can add vibrato, that would be really cool. And the next movement, we do that. Again, we go to G string, 14 on the G string, we do the bend, release, and a pull off to 12. Then we repeat the same movement again, 14, bend, release, and pull off to 12. We're gonna go to 14 on the D string, 12 on the G string, and then go back to 14 of the G string and do a bend. Let's go again. Remember to do the vibrato. Next movement, we do that. There's two ways you can do this. We're gonna go to 17 on the E string, 17, and we're gonna do a bend like going to 19. And there's two ways now you can do it. You can go back to 17, do the 17. We need to do a bend and then a release. Okay, and then 15 on the E string, 17 on the E string again, and 17 on the B string. That's one way to do it. And the other way you can do it, it's 17 bend, and then strike when you're doing the bend, do the release, pull off to 15, and then 17 on the E and 17 on the B. One more time. Okay, so the next movement. That's the movement, so we're gonna go to 12 on the E string, hammer on to 14, and then 15 on the E string. We're gonna strike 15, pull off to 14, and then 14 pull off to 12. Then again, 14 on the E string, pull off to 12, and then 12 slide to 10. After that, it's 12, pull off to 10. After that, 8, 7, and 5. Everything is on the E string, 8, 7, and 5. Then 8 on the B string, and then we're going to strike 5 of the E string and on the B string, both at the same time, both strings at the same time. The next movement, we do that. So 5 on the E string, we strike 5, we do a pull off to the open string, and then we're gonna go to the B string, 7, hammer on to 8, and then back to the E string, 5, hammer on to 7, pull off back to 5. Then again, 8 on the B string, we're gonna strike 8, pull off to 7, and 7 pull off to 5. And the next movement, 7 on the G string, and when you strike 7, we do a bend, and then we do a bar on the 5 position on the B string and on the E string. One more time. That's the movement. 7 bend, 5 on the B, 5 on the E. Next movement. We're going to be doing that. That's my favorite part of the song. Now, we're going to do the following. We're going to go 10, slide to 12, okay? Everything is going to be on the E string. 5, slide to 12. And then 12, we're going to slide to 10. Then strike 10, slide to 8. Then 8, slide to 7. 7, slide to 5. 5, slide to 3. Then 3, slide to 2. And then 2, pull off to the open string. One more time. Next movement, B string, 3 on the B string, strike 3, pull off to the first position, okay, to the first fret. Then first fret, pull off to the open string. We're gonna strike open string again, and we're gonna go to the second fret of the G string. And then we're gonna strike the G string open, okay? G string open, and we're gonna let it ring. And we're gonna do, on top of that, we're gonna do the next lick. So we open G string, and the next movement, we do that. It's 3 on the E string, 5, 7, and as soon as you play 7, you're ready. You need to be ready to do that. We need to slide to the 10th position of the E string. And after that, we need to be ready to strike 6 on the E string and slide to 10. Slide to 7. Sorry. After that, 5 on the E string, 7 on the E string, and we do that. We strike 3 on the B string, and slide to 5. And the next movement, after we do the slide, we can slide 3 again to 5 and back to 3. But there is a movement that we're gonna do. We're gonna repeat it a lot. We're gonna do that. So after we're gonna do that. So it's basically we are just repeating the same movement. It's 3 hammer on to 5 and 5 pull off to the 3. Okay, everything is gonna be on the B string, and then 3 pull off to the open string. So 3 hammer on, pull off, and pull off to the open string. And you're gonna repeat the you need to repeat the same movement many times, as fast as you can. And now the last time you do it, you ended with that. So you basically go to 10 on the E string and you slide to the 12. Next movement, we do that. We're gonna go to the 22nd, strike twice, then 21st, okay, 21 fret, strike twice, then the 20, strike twice, and then 19, strike once, and strike again, and the second time you slide. And then we go to the next section. Okay, so the next section after we do that. So it's 17, we go to the E string, 17 twice of the E string, then 15 one time, 14 one time, and then 12. That's moving. Next movement, 15 on the B string, we strike, do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 12. I'm sorry. And the next movement, we're gonna go to 14 of the G string, we're gonna strike once, we're gonna do a bend, and then 12, a bar on the 12 of the B string and the E string, bend, 12 of the B, 12 of the E, 15 of the B string, and then a pull off to 12. And we repeat the same movement. 14, bend, 12, 12, 15, pull off, and we're gonna stop there. After we basically we're just repeating the same movement twice, the same patterns twice. The next movement we're gonna change something. We're gonna start doing the lick faster. So we're gonna go to 14, a bend, then 12 of the B string, 15 of the B string, pull off to 12, and then 14 of the G string, do a bend, 12 of the B, 12 of the E, 15, pull off, and then we're gonna go 14 again of the G string, bend, release, and a pull off. So like I told before, the first two times we are doing this, we are gonna do it kind of slow, and then we just go faster. Let me show you. Let me show you in slow tempo. That's the movement. After we end this, when we the bend, the release to the 12, we're gonna do. We do that. We're gonna go 15 of the E string. We do a bend like going to 17. We kill the note, so there's no release. 15, then 12 on the E string, 12 on the B string, 15 on the B string, and we do that. 14 on the G string, bend, release to back to 14, and we strike 12 on the G string. Let me show you again. Next section. We do that. 15 on the E string, okay? 15 on the E, 14 on the E, 12. Then again, 15 on the B string, we do a pull off to 12, and then we strike 15 on the B string, and we do a slide. Next movement. We do that. 12 on the E string, 14 on the G string, we strike, we do a bend, a release, back to 14, and then 12 on the G string, 14 on the D string, and back to 12 on the G string. Next movement. We do that. So after, we're gonna go to 10 on the B string, and we do 10, 7 on the E string, hammer on to 8, and go back to 10 on the B string, then 7 on the E, 8 on the B, 10 on the B, and we repeat the same thing. 7 on the E, 8 on the B, and 10 on the B. Let me show you again. After we strike 10 on the B string, we go 5 on the E, 5 on the B, and quickly you just remove your finger and keep pressing on the 5th of the B string, because you need to strike E of the open string, open E, then 5 on the B string, and you need to strike 5 again, and we do a bend to the 7 and a release. Let me show you again. I'm sorry. And you strike open E again. That's a movement. Next movement. We're gonna do that. So it's 12, and then we'll strike 12 on the E string. We do a pull off to 10 on the E string. Strike 12 on the E string, and then 12 again, hammer on to 14, and then strike 12 again, hammer on to 14, and pull off back to 12. I'm sorry, let's go again. Then 15 on the B string, and then we go to 12 on the B string, 15 on the B string, and then we just do 15 on the B string again, and we do a bend. We do the release, and we do a bend again. So basically we just do 2 bends with the same strike. You can see there's I did the bend, release, and bend. We go back to the same thing than before. 12, hammer on to 14, and then 12, hammer on to 14, and pull off back to 12. And then 15 on the B string, 12 on the B string, and we end that section with that, 15, and pull off to 12 on the B string. And then we go to the next section. Okay, so the next section. We do something like that. After the 15 and pull off to 12, we do that. Same thing I told before, we're gonna do it like a million times. It's 14 on the G string, bend, like going to 16, release back to 14, and then pull off to 12. We repeat the same movement twice. And then we strike 14 one time, and then strike 14 again, do the bend, release, and pull off to 12. We strike again 14, and we strike again 14, bend, release, and pull off to 12. Let me show you. Show me, let's go again. Next movement. We do that. So when we are on the G string, and after we do the bend and the pull off, we go back to 14 again on the G string. We strike and do a bend like going to 16, and then we strike to 12 on the B string, again 14, bend, 12, 14, bend, 12, and we do it a couple more times. Let me show you. So basically we just repeat several times, like 5 times. And the last time we go to 15 on the B string, we strike, do a bend, and strike 12 on the E string. Next movement, we do something like that. It's kind of hidden. At this point, the guitar, the song actually on the original track, it's fading. So it's kind of hard to listen. You're gonna need to raise the volume on that. But well, I did the best I could. After that, we do 14, we do a bend on the G string, 12 on the B, 12 on the E, we do the bar, 12 on the B, 12 on the E, then 15 on the B string, we do a pull off to 12, and then we just go to G on the G string, strike 14, do a bend, a release, and a pull off to the 12 of the G string, and then basically just I did a swipe and a slide. Let me show you again. Okay, so the next section. So we're gonna go to the E string. We're gonna strike 3 on the E string, pull off to the second fret, okay? 3, pull off to 2, and then pull off to the open string. Then 3 on the B string, open B string, open G string, and then 4 on the D, open D string, and then second fret of the D string. Then open A string, we're gonna strike open A string and hammer on to the second fret. Next movement. We do that. It's 3 on the E string, and this is kind of, it needs to sound staccato, like 3. It needs to sound like that. So basically you're just muting the strings with this hand when you pick. That's basically it. Just 3 on the E string, 5 on the E string, then 5 of the B string, 5 on the E, back to 3 on the E string. Then strike second fret of the E string, and you do a slide like going to the 15 position. Next movement, you do that. 12 on the E string, then 14 on the G string, strike again, then bend, release, and a pull off to 12. We repeat the same movement again, 14, bend, release, and a pull off to 12. The next section, we do that. It's 12 on the E string, slide to 10, then 10, slide to 7, 7, slide to 3, and 5, 7, slide to 5, and then 5, slide to 3. Then we do that. So 3 again, hammer on to 5, and 5 on the B string. And the next movement, it's kind of what we did before. So we do that. So basically we just go to the third position on the B string. We do 3, bend, release, and a pull off to the open string. We did this before. Then same movement on the second fret of the G string, second, bend to like 4, bend, release, and pull off to the open string. Then second fret of the D string and strike open G string, hammer on to the second fret on the G, and then open B and open D. Next movement. It's kind of like that. At this point, the song it's really fading. It's kind of hard to listen what he's doing right there. I just completed the empty slots. I did 12 on the E string. We do that. So it's 12 on the E string, 15 on the B, 12 on the B string. And then 14 on the G string. We strike once, we do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 12. We did this like a million times. And then we're gonna go to 14 again on the G string. We strike, we do a bend, a bar, 12 on the B, 12 on the E. Then 15 on the B string, and do a pull off, the same pull off we did like a million times, 15 to the B, to the 12 on the B string, and then again 14 slide, bend, release, and a pull off to the 12th position. And after you do that, you strike 12 of the E string, and the next movement you do that. 15 on the on the E string, do a strike once, do a bend, like going to 15, and notice that there is no release. I just do the bend and I kill the note with this hand. Okay, then 17, same movement, 17 like going to 19, then 17 like going to 19, 19 like going to the 21st. And then on the 22nd, we do a same thing, but it's like going to the 23. Let me show you again. And that's the end of the song. If you reach to the final part, congratulations. It's a pretty long song.